Okay, so we're here with Kate Nash, everyone. Kate, how was last night, first night?
It wasn't the first night of the tour. It was actually, like, we've got 5 dates left, I think, so we're a few weeks in now. But it was the London show, so it's like the home.
Yeah, hometown.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I had a bit of an accident. I've, like, split my chin open. I feel like it's starting to look like I've got a beard from, like, bruising. But, like, I fell off. I was, like, standing on my piano and fell off that, and then landed on a stool and then smacked my chin on the stool, and, like, I didn't realise until, because I got back up and then I looked down and there was like blood dripping all over the keyboard, and I was like, uh-oh, what have I done? But apart from that, it was like a really, really fun show. I've been playing with Brigitte Aphrodite, who've been supporting the tour, and she's awesome, so it's cool.
It's good fun. Good to be home.
Yeah, it was really nice to be home for one night.
One night only.
Yeah.
So the tour, you're going on for a bit and then you're going to Istanbul. Just for one night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
festival. You've been on the road
show.
for ages. You've been on the road since last February, is that right?
Yeah, for like a year.
So it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Has it taken it out of your...
I'm feeling pretty knackered now. It's coming to the end of the cycle, but I think it's a really nice way to end the whole campaign, really, with like a really small, intimate tour of the UK and just get into these places that I haven't been to for like, or say like I started off the tour in like Stoke, Sugar Mills, like I haven't been there for like 4 years, so it's nice to get out to those venues, really. Yeah.
It's nice to do little venues.
More intimate.
Yeah.
I feel so much more comfortable in the smaller shows. It's much more buzzy. I think there's like a difference when you play big shows. It's more like a performance, really. And then when you're playing like a small show, you can really get involved with everybody in the crowd. So.
Absolutely. And also, so you're setting up after-school clubs teaching kids about songwriting.
Yeah.
I heard you donated 30 guitars to one school. What do you want to get out of it? What's your ultimate goal? What do you want to teach the kids?
I think my main thing is to get rid of this, like, a lot of kids have seemed to have such terrible self-esteem issues and confidence issues, and I got this statistic. I was invited to talk on a panel last summer for Miranda Sawyer's, an Observer journalist, and she told me this statistic that like only 14% of PRS goes to women songwriters, so like that's really low, really low. It's nothing, and a lot of female artists today are presented to us as writers and artists, and they're not. They're pop stars and singers, which is totally fine because I like pop music, but I think it's sad that there's like not as there's just so little female writers. And so I saw this interview with Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill, and she was talking about like summer camps, rock and roll summer camps they do for girls in Portland and in New York, and I thought it'd be really cool to bring something like that to the UK. But we don't really have like that summer camp culture, so I thought after school clubs would work better, and also that way I could do it in more than one town across the UK rather than having to focus in London. And I've been interviewing, I've been doing it on this tour, and I interview loads of the girls from school, and it's really quite heartbreaking, some of the stuff they say, because I've just been doing like an initial presentation and then like Q&A and performance, and I like ask them, why do you think there's a big gender gap? And it's all like, well, because girls have to look perfect and be a perfect image, and they have confidence, issues, self-esteem. And one girl said that she could never do it, and I was like, why? And she went, because you have to be beautiful, not ugly. And I was like, that's horrible that, like I think the media are really breeding, like, I don't know if they realise how bad an issue it is, like, and how terrible it is what they're doing to young kids. Like today, for example, I was just at the services and I picked up a magazine and it had a picture of Cheryl Cole, and she's like turned to the side like that, so she's got like a, you know, like if you took a bad angle photo, she's got like a double chin. And everyone's like, oh my God, Cheryl Cole's weight gain. Look how she's been dealing with it. She's gained so much weight, blah, blah, blah. And like, Cheryl Cole is tiny. She's tiny, like she's really tiny. She could do with like putting on a few pounds, really. Like, and there's gonna be kids out there that are like much bigger than Cheryl Cole, reading that and thinking, oh God, if they're sagging off Cheryl Cole, then what I must be some horrible, freakish monster, you know? And I think I didn't realise how bad it was, and it's made me feel a lot more angry about those kind of things, because I don't know if it affects somebody like when people slag me off for saying, oh, you're too fat to be a pop star, or this, that, and the other. It doesn't really bother me because I'm quite thick-skinned, really like tough, and I don't really care. But there'll be like 14-year-olds that read that, and it really affects them. So I mainly want to like encourage them to feel better about themselves and realise that they're beautiful and that they're unique and individual, and that they can totally go and do music and write their own songs and start bands, and that if they feel bad, that actually writing music's a really good way of dealing with that. And so at the end of the year, I want to put on a show that they run, basically, and they play at. They like are the bands, and they also help like do the sound and the lights and tech it, just to prove to themselves that they can actually do it.
That's so nice. Like you were saying about music's a good way to get out your emotions. You write a lot about relationships.
Yeah.
And is that a mirror of your own life, or is that they're just lyrics and that's what they are?
A lot of the time it's based in truth, and I like to write about my own life and personal experiences, and I write also about like my friends' experiences, and then sometimes I make up some things to make the song more interesting, or it's like a story, you know, like if you was writing just a story. It's kind of both, I think. Yeah, I think relationships and love is a really interesting subject matter because it's just so weird.
You kind of make it humorous in a way, and sort of.
I think it's important to have a sense of humour.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah.
Do you want to? Is there anyone that you want to collaborate with? Because you haven't really collaborated with anyone in particular.
No, I've worked with Billy Bragg before, but only we sang like a Shangri-La's cover.
Yeah.
I think there's some really. I used to be quite shy about working, but with other people, because I'm in another band now. I play bass in another band called the Receders, and it's opened me up to the idea. Oh, just smash my heart.
Sorry.
Help me. I'd love to work with someone like Joan Jett or Kathleen Hanna, or like, you know, the girls from Sleater Kinney maybe, or I really like the Dum Dum Girls. I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
There's loads of good musicians out there that'd be cool to work with. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Katie, you had a platinum-selling album, Made of Bricks, and you had a #2 hit, Foundations, and a Brit Award. You're doing so well, and then you had, say, 2 years out. Why did you have those 2 years out? What made you sort of leave the industry for a while?
I feel like I didn't leave the. I guess I just left touring for a bit, and being in the media, because I'm not a celebrity, and if I'm not doing something like creative music, then I'm not going to be in the press for just hanging out at a club somewhere, you know. So that's just not really who I am. But I was exhausted and depressed, and I hated what I was doing. And I didn't hate, like, you know, I loved it, but I did it too much. Like, if you do something, I was really young when it first happened to me. I was like 18 or something, and then my life just changed like that really quickly. And then I just travelled the world for like 2 years, which was awesome. But then by the end of it, if you play the same show, and especially if you only have one record, because you just have to play the same songs every single night for like 2 years, it just wipes you out, and you just think, I hate this. And I'd go and I'd play show to someone who, like, I remember doing a tour in America, and I was playing in Detroit, and I'd never been there. And I felt so guilty because I was not enjoying the gig, and I was tired, and I was like, I'm bored. I was singing, and I was like, I don't care about this. Like, I remember singing Foundations and being like, I just don't care about doing this. I've done it too many times. And all the kids in the audience were like really excited that I was there, and I felt so guilty that I didn't really give a shit.
You didn't feel it.
Yeah. And so I was like, I need to take time out so that, because it is my career, and I'm lucky that it's a job, but it's also something I really love, and it's a passion, so I should be excited about doing it. So I just waited until, you know, I felt, okay, I really want to do a show now, and I really want to write a record, and I wanted to write, and I couldn't really write on the road. Like, I think you need to like be having life experience to write a record, because you need to be like hanging out with your friends and, you know, reading books and
like, write to get a song out.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Write because it's like a meaning of a song that means something rather than just need a song.
Need an album, quick.
Yeah.
Do you think it paid off then? The risk, you know, because it's quite a big risk leaving the industry for. Do you think it paid off?
I think it did for the album that I made. I don't think I would have made the same record, and I'm really, really proud of it, happy with the record. So yeah, I think I don't really see it as like a risk thing. I think that it's just something that I'll probably just do throughout my whole career. Like, I'll just write. If I don't have anything to write about, like you said, I'm not going to ever put out like a record that I think is crap. So if I don't have anything to write for 10 years, then I won't release an album for 10 years. And I think that it kind of is better I'm in a better position now. Last year was quite a lot of hard graft, but this year I feel like in a much better position because, you know, though my record wasn't as commercially successful, I'm kind of at a more comfortable level. I have a lot more control of what I'm doing. I have fans that really want to be there rather than fans that just heard Foundations, like, and talk through everything else. I have fans that know, like, don't you want to share the Guilt and Mansion song on B-sides and stuff. So I feel like last year and all the work I did touring and everything really paid off, and I mean, it's the end of the campaign now, so I'm looking forward to taking a bit of time out again and writing a new record. And yeah.
So you're more uplifted and you're
I feel
enjoying it.
so much happier. Like I haven't got to a point on this tour. Like, well, I mean, I've just got a new band actually, and they're really awesome. It's like an all-girl band, and they were like 19, 20, and they're amazing musicians. So I think if you keep like changing things around, and like I went to Rio and Mexico and Argentina and stuff, and getting to do that this time round is really. I think once you get out of London, you just feel you're like, oh yeah, the rest of the world is happening.
There's more to
yeah.
So plans for next album?
At the moment, I don't have any. I have one song idea, but last time round I really knew exactly what I wanted to make with the record, and this time I don't. So it's quite exciting actually, because it's actually a mystery to me.
Go with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You're hoping to sort of have an album the next year, or?
I hope so, but last time with my first record, I was like saying I just want to release an album straight away. I want to write it and release it straight away, and then the more time I took off, the more I enjoyed taking the time off. So I don't want to put a deadline on anything. Cause I mean, I could write one in 3 weeks and be like, I want to put that out now, or I could not write one for like a year. I don't know.
Like you said, you want to wait for something that's worth.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. It's a question that I want to know. Like, relationships and love are quite, it's quite themed in your music.
Yeah.
Does it mirror your life? Any heartache in your life at all? Why you write these songs and perform them the way you do?
Yeah, I think some of it is. I think particularly with my first record, and then this time I think there's a mix of both. You know, there's like I Hate Seagulls is like a love song, and it is like for my boyfriend. I wrote it for somebody, so that's the first time I've ever really written a song for someone. Apart from Dickhead, I wrote that about a girl who bullied me at school.
Does she know it's about her?
Yeah.
I don't know, I think she might know. I think she might know, yeah.
It's like, damn.
Yeah. But then I like writing about, say like Kiss That Girl is about jealousy and like feeling insecure, but again it's not really like, it's not like, oh my God, I'm really insecure. It's just kind of like a light-hearted take on, like, you know, and you're being a bit like, oh,
I'm having a bad day.
Yeah, oh, give me attention, oh, I'm really needy. Like one of those kind of, it's just like a kind of funny, yeah. So sometimes it's more serious, like when I write something specifically for somebody, and other times it's like, I think how everybody feels about relationships sometimes, you know.
Well, Phillippa's quite needy, aren't you?
Yeah, I know what I want. But yeah, should we call it a day?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, Kate.
Your love hearts look great as well.
Oh, thanks. It's Joan Jett and the Black Hearts tribute.
Got 2 lines there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think you might start a trend.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Abby. Cheers.